What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy Dub Q, and you are in the building. Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's time for another one. Between the Lines podcast, and we are here because, the Carolina Panthers fall to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know you're guessing it. What's next? So, without further ado, let's just be honest, man. Let's take a look at it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6-7 currently as we speak. They're currently playing right now the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're up on them. So you're looking at a possible 7-7, which means that the Carolina Panthers have fallen down to 5-9 on the division, which is third place behind the Falcons. It's not looking good, man. It really not. It's really not. It's not looking good. And to be quite honest with you, we had a little glimmer of hope when it came to the playoffs, and that's starting to really look like that's out of the picture. So Sunday's loss came after, let's just be real. The Carolina Panthers came out and they weren't prepared. The defense was lethargic. They were missing tackles. There were a lot of plays that just weren't really coming out and happening because, let's just be real, this offense that we saw from the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mitchell Trubisky decided to target Keith Taylor and anybody that was opposite of J.C. Horn, which long-term ended up being a problem in the game because, J.C. was clamps on whoever he was covering, but everybody else was getting abused. With that being said, offensively on the opposite side, the Carolina Panthers were shut out with the run. It was a hard-fought game for the Panthers. After the run game was really shut down, and that had a lot to do with T.J. Watt just being a monster on the line, the Panthers lost this game in the trenches. So with that being said, once you lose in the trenches, it's hard to overcome anything else that's going to be coming when it comes to pushing that ball. So there was no chance to really do any play action, no chance to really run the ball. We then had to rely on Sam Darnold and Sam Darnold's ability to throw the football down the field. And if you ask me, if you are in a position where you're waiting on Sam Darnold to possibly get you, it's not going to be good, bro. It's not going to be good. Let's just be real. Sam Darnold is a good backup quarterback, but if you're waiting on him to throw you into the promised land, you're going down. And you saw this offensive line lost in the trenches today. You saw multiple sacks. You saw plays where Sam Darnold was just holding on to the ball too long. Look, let's be real. The Carolina Panthers got punched in the mouth. And that's the best way to put it. I'm going to be also a little more understanding this time around. Steve Wilks, you had some questionable calls, but I think what you just did today was really push yourself out of the head coaching candidacy. And like I said, I hate to say this because I like Steve Wilks, but he needed to win this game. Great coaches learn how to finish. That's your quote that you said in the interview. Great coaches, great players learn how to finish. And you did not do that today, sir, against a Pittsburgh team that we said that were almost identical to us. A good defense, a great running game with Najee Harris, and basically a backup quarterback. The same recipes that we had, they had. So this game is going to come down to coaching. We did not see a lot of opening up the playbook from Ben McAdoo. So I'm a little bit worried, you guys, because Ben McAdoo seems to be strapped and limited as an offensive coordinator. It seems he reached his ceiling maybe weeks ago. So at this point in time, I'm already ready for a new offensive coordinator to come in because what we're getting from him is not going to cut it on the NFL level. He seems to be outdated. It's just like spilt milk. He's just not it. So I need to see another offensive coordinator because I want to see this ball move down the field, and I want to see play action. I want to see the running game coming strong, and I want to see a lot of downward passes. We don't get to see a lot of that in Carolina because right now, McAdoo isn't drawing it up. One, but two, we got to go out and execute. Number two, the Panthers have to execute. So with that being said, no matter how much you say you want to run, you got to go out there and actually make it happen. Deontay Foreman did not have the best day Sunday. But then again, look at the team overall. None of us had the best day Sunday. And we end up, overall falling to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who basically, like I said, came in 5-8 as well as we did. So you had the game basically of 2 5-8 teams, and you're trying to see who was the better team. Pittsburgh showed that today. They had a lot of 8-man in the box. And I mean, with that being said, if you got 8-men in the box, you're supposed to take advantage of your matchups, but we didn't do that. They were basically daring us to pass the ball. They were daring Sam Darnold to beat us. And you got to understand, with 8 men in the box and you got TJ Watt as a defensive end, you better get that ball out of your hand quick, or not. If not, you're going to have 4 to 5 sacks, maybe 6 sacks almost. And the Panthers had a lot of different sacks tallied up on them on Sunday. So Sam Darnold, like I said, you did about as good as you could do, but I'm aware that you're limited. And looking at the way this loss went Sunday, at coaching, we're limited, because there was one time on a 3rd and 8, they called a quarterback sneak for Sam Darnold on a 3rd and 8. I'm looking around like, what are we doing? No, sir. That is not going to cut it. That was possibly one of the dumbest plays I've seen. And if you saw anything, you would have saw me on the live play-by-play really going off, because that's just not it. That's not what you should do in that instance, man. I get it, you're trying to catch him off guard, but McAdoo, once again, your play calling is very suspect to me. That was not the time or the place for that. So with that being said, now we sit 2 games back to the division. How do you guys feel about us possibly still trying to get the division? Because if you 2 games back, Tampa Bay is going to possibly win today against Cincinnati. I don't know. We'll see after this video comes out what happens. But they still sitting up 7-7. Then you look around, the Falcons are 5-8. They still got to finish off their game. But it's not looking good, man, because 2 games back, every week it seems to be nobody wants to step up and claim this division. This has been historically a bad division this year. And with that being said, it looks like the division winner is going to probably get away with 7 to 8 wins. For me, I think we had a slim chance of hope already coming into this, but now it seems that hope has dissipated. I don't know, where do we go from now? I would like to say that we would keep our eyes on, I hate to say it, guys, but we need to be focusing on building this team right now. So we got 3 weeks left into the season. We take the next 3 weeks to really, try to compete, because we got the Lions coming up. We got the Saints and the Bucks coming up. We try to compete week in and week out, but I know realistically deep down inside that I don't see it happening. Possibly the season could be already done now. That was like the nail in the coffin for it, for any hope of a comeback. And I don't know about you guys, but this for me has been a very tiring experience with this season. I believe that this off season is going to be even more interesting. So really, man, you got to stick with Between the Lines podcast. We're going to be bringing you all the updates, all the updated news as soon as it comes out. You got to make sure you're here for that, man. So without a shadow of a doubt, if you haven't already, make sure you share, like, subscribe to the channel. Show that love, man, because this channel right here prospers whenever you do it. And I'm under the impression to say that, hey, I appreciate you guys. I really do. So with that being said, man, if you have nothing else better to do, share that love and subscribe to the channel. This has been your boy Dub Q, and I'm just here with what's next for the Carolina Panthers.